Hello and welcome to the Precision Project. Today we're going to be talking about the kneeling position. Now there's two basic kneeling positions we're going to work in. We've got Matt here. If you needed to take a shot quickly and you needed a little extra stability, you could use the hasty kneeling. Let's say you're moving and you see a target out there if you're hunting, or maybe you're doing a three-gun competition and you need a little bit more stability than a standing position, you would work into your hasty. Now all he's going to do is he's going to step into it. Go ahead, Matt. He's going to drop to it. He'll support his elbow on his front knee, and he'll take his shot. The great thing about the hasty kneeling is once you've taken your shot, you can step up and you can actually step right out of it and keep moving on. Now he'll come back. The more traditional kneeling positions are what we call a static kneeling for competition. Now Matt's going to go ahead and he's going to get into a good kneeling position right here. There's several kneeling positions. One of them is where you would roll your foot up underneath your fanny and actually sit right down on your foot. Now generally, only young, very flexible people can do this. Then you have a medium height where you actually flatten the foot out and you sit right down on your heel. And the more traditional kneeling position is actually the curled toe. This is one you'll see people doing a lot. Because quite frankly, the older you get, this is the easiest kneeling position to get into. Now, he has his strong leg almost a complete 90 degrees away from his body. So right now his strong side is very, very stable. Now out front, he's got his forward foot flat on the ground. It's very important that you put your forward foot flat because this prevents you from introducing muscle tension into your leg. Quite often you'll see people that haven't been trained properly, they'll stick their foot out and they'll curl their toe up like so. Now what you're doing is you're using all of your leg muscles to support your front arm, and eventually what will happen, if you stay in this position for any length of time, your rifle will start to shake, you'll see the shake in your scope, and it'll become very, very frustrating for you. So what you're going to do is you're going to plant your foot nice and flat, and if you can actually get your shin to go straight up and down, that gives you good support. Now remember when we talked about our seated position and where our elbows go and bone support. We never want to have, remember those two cue balls, we never want to have two rotating or round objects on top of each other. So he's going to actually put his elbow out in front of his knee and his bicep is going to be resting on top of his kneecap. If for whatever reason you can't get into that position, what he could do is he could slide his elbow back and he could put it behind his kneecap. But you never want to have the elbow on top of the knee. Now if he does this, he slides it, he can actually kind of sink down into that position. While it's not as stable as a prone or a sitting, it's definitely more stable than a standing position. So he's got a good consistent position, and he also has a good consistent rifle. For good consistent rifles such as the one that Matt's holding right here, you can go to tacticalrifles.net.